Hi class, today's math lesson is on exponents. Our learning targets for today's lesson are, I can represent large numbers in exponents. Exponents are these numbers that you see all over my board here, and we'll talk about what those are. Our other learning target is, I can multiply large numbers that end in zeros. Alright, in the vocabulary section of your notebook, I want you to copy down this whole board. So I have an example of a exponent right here. So write down the 10 with the little 6 up here, and the 10 is the base. So please label the 10 base. Label the tiny little 6 in the corner as the exponent, or sometimes we call it the power. Okay, then I also want you to write this, what we say when we talk about exponents. We say that this number is 10 to the 6th power. I wrote that in words and numbers. Then I want you to write what we mean when we talk about exponents. We mean 10 to the 6th power is the same as 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So it's 10 6 times. It's not 10 times 6. Please write all of that in your vocabulary section of your notebook. Alright, so I have a couple examples here. You don't have to write these down. These are just for your learning. So our first example is this one right here. And this one we say 7 to the 2nd power. And I've written that here. 7 to the 2nd power. It means 7 times 7. It does not mean 7 times 2. It means 7 2 times. So 7 times 7, and we should know that that is 49. So we're going to fill in our box. Our second example is 7 to the 1st power, or we might just say 7. It means just 7. So we can fill in our box that way. Our last example is 7 to the 7th power. That means 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. It's 7 7 times. It's not just 7 times 7 once. It's 7 7 times. So I'm going to need my calculator for this one. So if I multiply 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, and if I do that 7 times, I get 8, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3. So it's 823,543. Okay? So you will be able to use your calculator when you do some of our exponent work. So those are our examples. If you need to come back to them later in the video for your practice work, go for it. Oops. And in the practice work section of your notebook, I want you to write this number, 5 to the 4th power. And I want you to number 1, 2, and 3 in your notebook. For number 1, you're going to name the base. What is the base in this exponent? For number 2, I want you to name the exponent, or remember, sometimes we call it the power of this number. And lastly, I want you to fill in the box. 5 to the 4th power is the same as what? And you may use a calculator on this problem. And our last slide, if you have any questions, if you're confused at all about exponents, write this down in the questions part of your notebook and come to class with them tomorrow.